Just got to grab my laptop. It's a little easier to see who's on, you know. What are you up today, Dan? Up to today? Let me adjust this camera here. Got to make a spot for the laptop. All right. Whoopsie. Let's see who's on today. See if this live chat will pop up. How you guys doing today? Happy Monday. I always forget to turn off the sound on the laptop. So hey, we're waiting for my Ryobi glue gun to warm up, but I'll show you what we're doing. Chase, what's up, brother? Hey, Chase, I don't believe you. For me, check this out. For me, I cleaned up the shop today. I boxed up that laser and did a video this weekend, but I cleaned it off so I could have room to work. I want to see a picture, Chase. Send me a picture, dude, because, man, your shop, I've never seen it clean. Now, it's bad. My wife came in the shop a couple days ago and even said, man, this is a disaster zone. So I'm working on a project for a client today. Let me see if my chat will pop up. That's awesome, Chase. It's nice to have a clean shop. When I clean the shop, it usually only lasts a few minutes, and then I start on a few more projects and it gets dirty again. But I typically reset every project. I still have a lot of stuff. Let me show you all this stuff. You know, a lot of that stuff we've been making on the lives, I have a lot of it. I was supposed to have a big craft show Saturday, but it got called off because of rain. So I was pretty disappointed because I was hoping to sell a lot of this stuff, but whatever, that's just part of it. So let me show you what we've got going on. I'll have a video coming out on this, but I'm building, these are landings for a boat. I've got the steps as well for the ladder, but so far today I've planed them down, drilled the holes. You know, this is where the pole goes through, and this is, I guess, a set screw. And I've got them all drilled and cut out to rough shape. And hey, plywood. And this is one I've already flush trimmed, and that's sapele, so it stands up well to weather. Usually you'd use cypress, white oak, or sapele for a marine application like an outdoor boat. So this is sapele. So it did pretty good. There's just going to be some light sanding. So I'm going to walk you guys through how I flush trim one of these. And then I'm going to cut grooves. This is for the steps, so this is for traction. So let me show you my process. Hey, plywood, what's happening? Nikki Espinoza. Hey, Nikki, thanks for joining us. You're right on time. I'm Steve with My Honey's Handmade. I appreciate you joining us. So You can always learn something. There's a bunch of different people in here that have channels. Sometimes we do similar things, sometimes we do different things. I'm a full-time furniture maker, woodworker, laser engraver, and wood turning. I do a lot of wood turning. So you never know what you'll see on my channel. So I appreciate you stopping by. Hey Maverick, how's it going? So let me show you my process. This is our original that we're trying to duplicate. So this is the rough one. I've already got it traced in white for the design. So basically what we're gonna do is, this is how I do it, and I'm sure there's different ways. I like to use blue tape and a hot glue gun. So watch this. Let me change the angle just a little bit, get you a better view. And then I'm gonna show you my new to me router table. Hey Kennedy, how's it going? No, Chase, this is sapele. Yeah, this is African mahogany, sapele. You know, a couple weeks ago, I spent some time getting some reclaimed, or a cabinet shop went out of business near me. So I got a ton of different pieces, but some of these were wider than others. So I had to glue them up and make panels out of them. Hey, Robert, how's it going? So my glue is hot. My glue gun's hot. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to use blue tape, and I'm going to use the 2 holes as a reference point on both pieces. I have used super glue. To me, especially on something this big, I like the hot glue a little better. Dan, what's up, man? So we're also going to put a strip over here where the other 2 holes. And this is really just it's easy for us to orientate, because what we're wanting to do is put hot glue here, then press it together so it all meets up. And then that's what we're going to do. So let's see if we got enough hot glue in here. So we're just going to put a healthy amount. Oops, come on, man, I got carried away there. That's plenty. I try not to get it on the wood. Now we're going to use the bottom of the table as a reference point, and we're going to mate these 2 up. And then we're going to line them up as good as we can. And don't forget, we've got the holes already pre-drilled, so I'm using those as another piece of alignment. So we're aligned. That could be a little better. I think we could be a little bit down. Let me grab the mallet. That hole's aligned well. And what I'm doing, I already trimmed this on the bandsaw. So there shouldn't be, when you're doing flush trimming, you don't want there to be more than 1/8 of an inch, I think. Otherwise your bit's going to work really hard and it's going to make it harder on you. So I like to trim it pretty close. So here's what we ended up at. There's the original, there's ours. That's pretty good alignment. I think it's going to be fun. Let's make sure I don't need to adjust anything. Hey, what's up, Josh? I'm just going to show, I'm flush trimming these. I made a couple of sapele landings. These are landings for a boat, like boat ladders. And then I've got the steps I've already done, but we're going to, I've already flush trimmed one. I'm going to show you how to flush trim this. And then I'm going to make all the grooves, you know, to give you traction. So I want to make sure I'm happy with this alignment before I keep going. Because that whole alignment could be a little better, I think. Trying to see how off I am. I think that's pretty good. It's possible when it's being installed that you'll have to tweak it. I won't be there for the install, but if anything, you might have to sand out a hole just a little bigger, something like that. Yeah, Josh, I had that. I had my big craft show this weekend, but it got canceled because of weather. So I was pretty disappointed, man. So, all right, so this is good enough. So I'm going to mask up. Let me come show you my router table, guys. It's new to me. For me, it's a big deal. Here, let me get this set up. Sorry, guys. Let me get you moved over here. Sorry. So here's my new router table. It's got a dust port in here. I haven't hooked it up yet. I only used it for the first time today. This is a woodpecker insert with a 3-horse router. Got a bunch of different plates for it, a coping sled. But man, just using it the first time, it's a whole lot different than my cheap router table. I have the same router table as Dan, one of those Lowe's. I forget the brand name of it. And it did fine, but I'm really wanting something better. So this came available on Marketplace a couple weeks ago. Yeah, Dan, this thing's yeah, Cobalt. There you go. Thanks. So yeah, check this out, Dan. There's a coping sled that came with it. This is for making, you can actually put your workpiece in there so you get a square cut, usually for doors. So I'm really excited about that. I got all the face plates. I got an extra, I also got another plate and got all the inserts. And I got two cases of bits. So a couple of sets of Freud. I got regular bits and I got a bits for making doors. So pretty excited. I've been making a lot more doors lately. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked. It does okay for price, but definitely not good. Yeah, Dan, it just always felt I could never get it to hold down correctly. The fence always moved on me. And that's one thing I wanted to use this track on the new one. And I've got to build, I'm going to laser cut some feather boards for it. That's what I've been doing on the small router table. Hey, remind me, Dan, I'll give you some feather board files if you can cut 1/4-inch wood. But you could always modify them and glue together 1/8 inch to get your thickness. So hey, I'm going to mask up. Okay, wait. Chase said he wants to see the bits. All right, Chase. So check it out. I got this. Honestly, I looked it up. The bits and the plate alone, I think, are worth $500. So, you know, they need to be cleaned up a little bit. Those are all 1/2 inch shank, which I prefer. Then here is the door system. I haven't used it. Check those bad boys out. So that's for making all your doors, or several styles, just depends. But pretty sweet. Hey, Brian, what's up, man? And then, of course, what I'm using for the flush trim, this summer I used, had a really bad experience, or I guess last fall, I was doing a lot of flush trimming and really was fighting it. So I went ahead and bought a $60 compression bit, which has the cutting heads both directions. So you have less chatter, less kickback. It's really nice. And I've already got it set to the depth. The one cool thing I really like about this table. All right, see you, plywood. Yeah, those bits look great. I can raise and lower the bit or the router from the top. On my other one, honestly, it sucked. I had to reach around. I've got to oil it up and lubricate it, but I'll do that in a couple weeks. I didn't want to bust out the old crappy table today. So this is my second time using this today. I used it a couple hours ago, but I wanted to show you. It also has a dust port. Here, I'll show it to you. There's a dust port over there. Oh, dang, about to trip on all my wood. Dang it. All right, yeah, sorry. So there's the fence and a nice dust port. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, compression bits. What did I call it? I just tripped over bowls and crap, sorry. In my shop, you got to watch where you step, so. Oh, Josh, man, it's a game changer, brother. Man, I've been really impressed. If you send me an email, I'll send you the link for that. I'm really happy with it. Hey, Jamie from Boondock Builds. What's up, Jamie? Glad you got to join, man. I was just showing everybody I got a new to me router table with a woodpecker lift and a bunch of bits, a coping sled, and dust collection on it. My dust collection doesn't fit, and this thing doesn't have a wheels. I actually cleaned this corner of the shop out a week ago. You guys aren't used to seeing this corner of the shop. Oh, I forgot. It also came with this thing. Check that out. This is some type of fence. To me, it looks like, yeah, this is some type of fence where you can control, I don't know. I haven't used it, so not sure how to use that. It came with it as well, but it's some type of fence with dust control. So I'm pretty excited. Yeah, Jamie, man, they're intimidating though. I had a Cobalt and I still do, but this thing, it's on a heavy table. Okay, that's what I was thinking it is, but I haven't used it, so. Yeah, Jamie, this thing's a solid heavy table, so it's really good. Josh says the fence is nice for cutting rabbits. Yeah, I'm looking forward to using this more. I've got to do something with my dust collection. I might just add another leg. Or actually, I think I'm going to add a mobile base to this so I can put it in the center of the shop where my dust collection already is. So hey, hey, Johnny, I'm going to gear up and we're going to flush trim this. Let me go grab that board and put my safety gear on. Grab a drink of water while I'm at it. Hope you guys are having a good Monday. Did everybody gorge themselves on Easter dinner? I know I did. Yeah, guys, you mentioned the pin. I looked for the pin and they didn't include it. They had it for the other router plate, but not the pin. So that's why it kind of catches on you every once in a while. Hey, Ray, what's happening, man? Yeah, I need that pin. So let me show you how easy. I'm going to have to order one. And it didn't come with the tool because those plates, those router plates, you have to, it has a little tool that has 2 prongs. It didn't come with that, but no big deal. I just used 2 screwdrivers to unloosen it and all that. So let's see what this looks like. So this looks, you know, the one thing I noticed, I didn't plan it well enough. You know, I joined these with dominoes because this is 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 4 boards, about 2.5 inches wide each. And my dominoes show, but nothing I can do about it. I added dominoes because it's a landing. Glue is stronger than wood, but with the dominoes, I have a domino going all the way through here. So it's really very strong. That's why I did dominoes. So this comes off pretty easy. Now the next step for me, just like that, and check this out. The tape peels right off. You don't have any mess on the wood. I missed a spot earlier. You don't have a spot on the wood. You're not messing the wood up. And man, for using that table twice, I'm super happy with it. My other table, the fence comes loose, all kinds of stuff. So here's what we have, guys. That's what it looks like. The next step is, I've already done all my holes to match these, right? The next step is to set up the dado stack and cut my grooves. This is for traction. And I'm not even gonna try to color the domino. Yeah, Josh, I like the glue. I don't know. For me, if it's something small, I use the super glue trick. But for bigger stuff, I like to use the hot glue. But no, I'm not going to try to color the domino, Dan. It's going to be in the sun, so it's going to fade. I mean, I don't know where this shows, you know what I mean? They're just going to, I mean, just something I'll have to live with. I mean, it's on both of them, I think. Let me look. Yeah, the other one, it's on 2 spots. I mean, can't do anything about it, man. It's a ladder on a boat. It's something, if I do it again, I'll have to plan it a little better, I guess, but yeah. Yeah, they pretty much match, Dan. Sort of. I mean, this one has it, one doesn't. Same way on the other one. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to try to stain them, though. Honestly, I don't, yeah. Oh, well. So, next step, I'm going to unplug my, if you guys want to hang out and watch, I'm going to do my dados, I think. Yeah, Dan, I wish it was, when I cut it, I was like, dang it, but, you know, whatever. Is what it is. So now, I've already marked which ones are top and bottom and where I need the grooves. So I've got this marked, top side needs grooves. And this one is back side, grooves on the bottom. So it should be like this. Let's double check. So this is the top. That matches the existing. And then this is going to be like here. Top side needs grooves, so that's getting grooves, and that's getting grooves. Hey, what's up, Alan? What are you doing, man? I'm just trying to make these landing. So in my mind, that's a 1/4 inch. So let's see what that looks like. Let me see if I have a 1/4 inch setup block. I don't know if I do or not. I do somewhere, but you know how that goes. I don't use them enough. Let's see if I can find them. Bad news is I can't even read it, what size it is. That's pretty bad, y'all. That's pretty much it, though. Yeah, I think that's 1/4 inch. Alan, I'm doing great, man. I got to use my new to me router table today. So I'm pretty stoked, man. I got to use it twice, and I'm very happy with it so far. Well, that does not look 1/4 inch to me. I don't know. Let me get my Craig tool out, see how big that is. I want to say that's 3/16. Yeah, I think that's 3/16. Yeah, that's 3/16. Okay, so that's a 3/16 slot. So let's pull out the dado stack. If you guys use a dado, man, LJ, what's up, brother? If you guys use a dado stack, I've had this one since I had my saw, and unfortunately, I can't go smaller than 1/4 inch. Well, shoot, 1/4 inch it is. So we're just going to use both of these guys, both of the chippers, to get a 1/4 inch width. I was going to try to match exact, but not going to work. I got to check my phone real quick. I'm just checking my notes before topside needs grooved. This is the backside grooves on the bottom. I gotta check some info on my phone real quick, guys. Hopefully it doesn't end the video. Oh, sorry guys, I had to check a text message. I guess it disconnected the live. Sorry about that. I was just confirming with pictures for the client which side needs grooves. So this one is getting grooves. I'm gonna mark it. Man, I had my pencil, my other pencil. You know how it goes, always when you have a busy table, you misplace stuff. Hey, see you, Dan. Do some work, Dan. Come on, slacker. All right, so I'm just marking these with grooves just so I don't lose track of, and I'm not marking anything, I'm just marking it for my reference. This is just to tell me which side's getting grooves, that's all. When you're working on darker woods, this white crayon or whatever, got that from Woodcraft, it's a Pika. Pretty happy with it. It's all right. So these sides are getting grooves. We're gonna start 1/2 inch in. Okay. So 1/2 inch in. So 1/2 inch start. And my next thing, I gotta unplug this thing. So give me a sec. Plus I got to move my router or my planer out of the way. I got to move this outfeed table to get to my plug for the table saw. Ugh. Thought I had it propped up. Yeah, it's better. One of the corners wasn't popped up. When I got the laser, this outfeed table got put on wheels. And this is why. Is my my plug for the table saw is way under there. Whenever you're changing blades, man, absolutely unplug it. Your power switch can fail, you can lose a finger, so you always want to be safe if you can. Speaking of being safe, I'm going to vacuum this out real quick. All right. Oh, let's change this blade out. That'll be some fun turnings for sure, Josh. Yeah, Todd, I don't like running extension cords for the table saw. I don't know, maybe I'm weird about that. Power it up, just make sure. So Todd, did you ship your lathe off today for repair? Is that what I saw in the comments? I'm going to put the camera over here so you guys can see this in case you haven't installed a dado stack. Some people have, some people haven't, so. Oh, that sucks, Todd. All right, so now we're going to put on a dado stack. These are chipper blades. From my dado stack. That's the reason when I bought this DeWalt table saw, I think 7 years ago, that's the reason I bought it. One of the reasons was the dado stack. Hey, Suzanne, how's it going? We just did, let me show you, Suzanne. We are doing, this is what we're doing today, Suzanne. I'm building some replacement boat ramps or boat landings. So we just made these out of sapele and flush trimmed them. Now we're about to cut the grooves on the table saw. Pretty cool project. We've also got a bunch of steps. I've already cut those. Those are just ready for grooves. Uh-oh, hold on. I think Dan, or Old Path, Alan, he got his screws for the lathe and they fit. Gonna put it together and download. Oh, you mean for the laser? That's awesome, Alan. How's it going, Johnny? No, that's awesome, Alan. That'll be a big deal, man. Holler at me, Alan, if you have any light burn questions. You know, try to use your guide first a little bit or some videos, but if you have a question after that, holler. I won't be available for like a week and a half, but you'll have some fun with that laser, Alan. I just put out a video on adding a laser to my small craft business. And that's really where it's at. If you can personalize items, that's what customers want. They want something with meaning you know, for them. So to be able to put their grandkid's name on something, or a Bible verse, or a last name, any of that is very, it's a game changer. If you don't have a laser and you aren't able to customize gifts, if you're trying to sell stuff, I would highly recommend a laser. They don't all have to be crazy expensive. I just did a video on the Creality A1 Falcon. I think it's around $550. I've got a link in my last video for a discount if you guys want a laser. I used it for 2 projects in the shop. I liked it. Really easy. I forgot, you know, ever since I got the big boy laser over there, I forgot how easy the diodes are. And yeah, holy crap. Brandon Zuch is in the house. He's the one who hooked me up with that router table. What's up, Brandon? Hey, Brandon, don't be hating on my table, man. I make some beautiful furniture with this table saw. All right, so let's plug in the table saw and make some dados. All right, so let's take this guy out. So we already looked at it. We need to be Oh, you're in the shop today, Brandon? I didn't know that. So we already know we need to be a 1/2 inch on each of these. So it's a 1/2 inch from the start. So I don't have a setup block, but I do have 1/2 inch plywood. So I think that's gonna be close enough. Use this as a setup block. I'll go get my Craig measuring tool. Is the audio messing up? Whoops. Hey, what's up, Bear? Hey, Bear, I'm going to put that listing up later today for that mallet. So here we're just making sure we have a 1/2 inch from the fence to the start of our cut. That's really what we're looking for. And yeah, we were off a little bit. Then I want to line this up as well. That's about right. I'm going to split the difference and come in right under a 1/2. Okay. Now we just need to find our depth. Yeah, Bear, let me show you yours, Bear. Here's the one I made on the live this weekend. This is yours. That's the one, that's for you, Bear. So I'll put up an Etsy link, and if you buy it today or tomorrow, I can ship by Wednesday. Otherwise, it'll have to wait for a while. Yeah, pay attention to the road, man. So how deep are we going? Let's see. Whoop. I guess it helps if you start at the 1, you know? Maybe not. That's right under 3/16. So we can get our depth. That'll work. So we're good to cut. I'm going to start with these steps. So I'm going to gear up, put a respirator on. Okay, thanks, Bear. Well, one thing I forgot. I didn't even realize it till now. Hey, Daryl, what's happening? One thing I didn't realize till just now. These steps, I've got to cut the holes in. So I'm going to stop this. I've got to cut those and create a jig. The reason why I want to cut them first, if I cut after the groove was made, I'm pretty sure I'd have really bad blowout and tear out right there. So I don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. Appreciate you guys sticking around. All I'm going to do line these up. These are already sized. Yeah, I'm going to switch to the table, guys. It's a little easier. It's safer than working on the table saw. Let me show you. You know, things you figure out live. I've already got my drill bit that should be the same size hole. Switch the camera around for you guys. Daryl, what are you up to today, man? I did make one extra of these steps as well in case I screw something up. I would recommend doing that if you can. Oh man, I got to do set screws on all these. I didn't realize that. Oh well. Just part of the deal. See if you guys can see me all right. All right. Yeah, so we're just going to line this up. Now the one thing, let me cut a piece of plywood. This is going to be this goes on the bottom to prevent tear out. It supports the grain on the bottom. Let me cut this piece off. So the big thing is to make sure these two top pieces are lined up, which they are. Double check as you go. Put a couple clamps, that should be sufficient. Now we're just going to drill some holes. Ooh, these look a little narrower than the other holes on the other pieces. Excuse me. Oh wow, those look angled. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do that. I think it's just that one because these are not angled. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Well, we'll just be drilling holes for a little bit. Well, I was going to use this as a template. I thought I had another one. Let me see if I have another one. Don't think so. I wonder if it's the same exact spacing. I think it is. It is. Okay. Okay, so it's the same exact spacing as the main landing. I just wanted to confirm it. So Man, this might be a pain a little bit. I think I'm going to call it good. Just drill this out a little wider, I think. I think I'm going to switch to my corded drill. It's going to be a little better here. If I have a lot of holes to drill, I like corded better. I don't run out of power all the time and have to wait for batteries to charge. And I thought I was almost done. I guess not. Guess we need to make some holes. One down, 7 to go. Make sure I label this to the front. And now we got 2 nice clean holes. That kept it from ripping out or tearing out much. So All right. I'm going to label all these front as well, just so when I mill them down on the table saw, they are all oriented the same. Flush. Hey Josh, what are you up to, man? CD 77 or 777? I didn't realize it. Is Bear's name Josh too? I have a lot of Joshes. Putting on some ear protection, man. That's a little loud for me. Hey, Pat, how's it going, man? Awesome, Pat. I'll check them out, man. I would enjoy a bandsaw video, Pat. I've never tuned it up. I've replaced the blade a few times. That's about it. We're just lining these up. Oh, awesome, Michael. Yeah, Michael, there's a ton of stuff that can be printed, man. Yeah, Todd, I've got a Festool dust extractor. I bought it years ago before I went full time. Highly recommend it. That and the dust, the sander, I mean. That bit is getting a workout today. Get that other piece. We still want to support it. See how it's got all these holes? Now we're going to switch to a new piece. on the bottom to help support the wood fiber so we have less tear out. Hey, DeLon, how's it going, buddy? Exactly. Todd, you got to pick your battles, man. I bought all the Festool gear over 3 years ago when I was part-time. It's kind of hard to justify to upgrade the table saw right now. And honestly, I have to move the table saw when I'm building a large piece of furniture, so I really do like the portability. But I get it. I get a lot of comments on my beat up table saw that I get pretty good results with it. Pat, the problem with the other table saw is the portability. I need to be able to move it really easily. That's why I still kept this one. All right, 3 more to go, then we can move on. Get our grooves on after this. Gonna get a drink of water real quick. Oh, I bet, Josh. A lot of them are manufactured in the same spot, just get a different paint job, you know, and different service, or maybe it's assembled in a different country. Well, my PC's about to die. Well, my laptop's about to die, guys, and I'm not going to be reading many comments unless I go to the phone, so. Oh, Pat, I bet that's going to be a nice tool, man. Nice table saw. All right, I think this is the last one. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yep. Last one. I'm ready. How about you guys? Kind of tired of drilling holes. There's no way that cordless drill would have done this with less than 4 batteries. I bought this Bauer Harbor Freight drill about 1.5 years ago because I was on a job and I ran through 2 batteries drilling in a 2-inch piece of wood. This thing is actually done really well for me. And the price was good. It was less than 40 bucks. And this is where I mostly use it, is for the larger holes or a lot of different holes. coffee refill. It's late in the day for coffee for me, man. All right. So the holes are drilled. All right. The next thing is I'm going to go ahead and cut my grooves because I can drill holes after the live. They have these holes on the side for your set screw, but I'll drill those after the live. Let's go back over to the table saw. I want to double check how I've got all these oriented. That's why I labeled them front. Okay. Thought I had a second piece that had a groove already cut. Oh, I did. Okay. So there's my two that I had a groove already cut. Okay. Just want to make sure they're labeled correctly. All right. Let's move over to the table saw and Todd, I hear people on YouTube talk about it. I'm not sure. I can't remember who has one. Someone in the tribe has one. I haven't used any Harbor Freight lathes though. All right, what'd I miss? Man. All right. I'm heading to the couch. I'm going to the patio, take a little break. See if the internet still works out here. Hey, see you, Ray. Hey, Pat, I'm making a landing. I gotta let the poodle in. I'm making a landing for a boat. Plus, I'm making boat steps out of sapele. So that's what I'm making today. But hey, I need a drink. I like to come to the patio fairly often, take a break. Man, that was dusty. I don't like taking the mask off when I'm doing a lot of cutting. I don't have the dust collection working for the table saw. One of my outlets went out underneath the outfeed table and I haven't got it fixed. It's been a while. Let's see. See what I missed on the comments. A lot of old tools, yeah, man. Pat, I see that you mentioned the Hobo Freight table saw. I don't know about them. I started 8 or 9 years ago with a marketplace used Ryobi. Man, I hated that thing. It got me started. Man, the fence was horrible. You had to measure it every single time. And as soon as I sold some woodworking projects, I saved up and bought that DeWalt. So I think I've had the DeWalt 7 years probably. But I'm hearing good things about the Hercules like you guys are talking about. So Josh is debating between the Hercules and the Bosch 12-inch miter saw. Man, Josh, I'm with you there. I didn't do the sliding miter saw because you have to have so much depth. But I think they make versions now where you don't need as much depth. That's why I went with the DeWalt, whatever it is. I think I get a little over 7 inches depth of cut, or, you know, front to back. Yeah, Ray has the rigid 12-inch slider. Oh, man, I bet that's nice. Robert, how do you like the Hercules miter saw? Yeah, Todd, if you have to, honestly, any of my equipment, I don't think I can walk in and out with a replacement. Hey, see you, Josh. Thanks for hanging out, man. Dang, Pat, that sounds pretty rough, man. Appreciate it. See you guys. Thanks, Pat. Well, hey, guys, I appreciate you guys hanging out on the live today. I showed you the flush trimming on a router table for these boat landings I'm working on. My next thing is to go cut the grooves for the 2 boat landings. I'm sorry, on all the steps. I have to put the holes for the set screws. And then I've got to cut the grooves on the 2 landings. And then I'm ready to sand everything and then finish. So more than likely, I won't get my marine grade varnish on until tomorrow. So I thought I'd get it done today, but this is taking a little longer. Okay, Robert said he's had the Hercules table saw with the rack and pinion fence. Worked great. You upgraded to a Delta when you needed to be able to do a 3/4 inch dado stack. Okay. Well, that's good to know, Robert. Yeah, that was one of my main decisions when I bought my DeWalt like 7 years ago. The miter slot's great. I use it often, just like this project. Um, when I built my cabinets in my kitchen a few years ago, and when I build cabinets, I usually use dados. Um, so they come in handy. I like the ability to use dados, and you can make your tongue and groove with it with the dado stack. Um, in 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to be making some boxes using a box joint jig on the table saw. So I'm going to make my own jig for that. That'll be fun. They're supposed to be super strong, and I've made them, but it's been years. But yeah. Oh, that's handy. Well, hey guys, I'm going to end the live. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Let me know if I can help. Have a good day.